bad to the bone. Watch out, 'cause I'm in my zone.
It's a Thursday night in the Cells NBL, and it's a grand final rematch as the Auckland Tuatara go up against the 2022 champions, the Otago Nuggets. No mai, haramai, hello and welcome to Eventfinda Stadium. Cold, wet and windy outside, but inside warm and dry, and some great Thursday night hoops coming your way. The Tuatara and the Nuggets. Justin Nelson with you tonight, sitting right alongside me, and great to catch up with him. Four-time Australian NBL champion, two-time Cells NBL champion. Look who's with us, Tom Abercrombie. Good evening, mate.
Justin, good evening. Absolute pleasure to be with you here, and looking forward to enjoying some awesome Cells NBL hoops tonight.
Hey, and good to see you. How's the off-season treating you?
It's been great. Nice to get away from basketball for a little while, but equally nice to be back watching some hoops tonight and getting to call it with you.
Well, let's have a look at the ladder after the opening 4 rounds of the season, and boy, oh boy, how good is this competition?
Yeah, look, it's been fantastic. Obviously, Nuggets sitting pretty up the top there, undefeated. Their first, well, not their first, but their biggest test tonight against the Tuatara, who'll be looking to bounce back from a tough loss last week against the Franklin Bulls.
Let's have a look at the games coming up in round 5, and it is a full slate. The Rams and the Saints tomorrow night, that'll be a beauty.
There will be a beauty. Saints starting to hit their straps, and obviously the Rams have had a fantastic start to the season as well. It's going to be a goodie.
Giants desperately looking for an opening win. They take on the Airs, the Bulls and the Nuggets. Saturday night action, and then a doubleheader on Sunday. The Jets and the Hawks, and the Sunday session down south, the Sharks and the Saints. Well, the Nuggets, they're on the road. They've got a big doubleheader. There's their starting unit. Coleman, Harris, McLaughlin with us. I can tell you that Sam Timmins is wearing number 33. Jack Andrew is out with an ankle injury. Coach of the Nuggets is Brent Matahade. We caught up with him a short time ago. You had a chat to him, Tom. What was Brent's thoughts on tonight's game?
Yeah, did. I had a good chat to him, and a good chat before everyone got here as well. He's excited for this one. They've obviously had a good start to the season. They've got 4 wins banked in the win column, but they're well aware of the challenge that poses them this weekend against a very veteran-laden and talented Tuatara team, and then backing up against Franklin in a couple of nights' time.
And one of the things that the Nuggets have been well known for over the opening month, defensively, there is Brent on screen. This is a very, very good defensive unit.
Yeah, look, if there's something I do appreciate, it's a good defensive unit, and he's done a fantastic job with those guys, led by Todd Withers, who I've really enjoyed watching so far. Had some good success in the NBL a couple of years ago and played against him, and it's been wicked to see him really find a home in Otago, and he's leading that team in that category.
Well, it is May the 4th. There's a bit of a Star Wars theme going on tonight here at Eventfinda Stadium. The Tuatara, let's have a look at the starters tonight. Ruben Tarangi. How about young Charlie Dalton? We'll talk about him in a moment. Rob Lowe, Cam Glidden and Jared Weeks. It's a solid starting unit.
It's a very solid starting unit, a lot of experience there, and you mix in the young Charlie Dalton as well. It's as good as it gets, but these guys are lacking a little bit of depth at the moment. They need these guys to stay out of foul trouble. We saw what happened last week when Ruben got into a little bit of foul trouble against Franklin. Hopefully these guys can keep their hands to themselves and stay in the game tonight.
And no doubt Aaron Young disappointed with last week's result, that overtime loss to the Bulls, but saw him before the game. He's got a bit of a pep in the step. He knows this is the grand final rematch, and he knows that his team will be very, very eager to bounce back from that loss.
Yeah, and he understands, these things happen, and for it to happen early on in the season is not the worst thing in the world. These guys will learn a lot from a loss like that, and getting up 24, it's always hard to protect a big lead, and they'll learn a lot from that experience and going through that, and I think they'll be a lot better for it.
Let's have a look at the TAB head-to-head tonight. And some interesting stats here. If you look over in the right column, points against, rebound margin and turnover margin, the Nuggets, very, very good.
Yeah, very good. That rebound margin's going to be a massive one tonight, obviously, with big Rob Lowe in the middle. That's going to be a tough one to get that margin again, but these guys have done a fantastic job so far, as we've talked about to start the season, and holding teams to 74 points. You're going to give yourselves a chance to win every game.
And they look after the ball.
They do. You play good defense, you look after the ball. It's a recipe for success, and they haven't shot the ball great so far this year, but having a base like that at the defensive end is such a wonderful place to start from.
Officials for this one tonight: Tim Brown, Duran Fiu and Brad Clive on the whistle. There is Sam Timmins back into the lineup for the Nuggets tonight. Of course, he missed last week. The Nuggets got home over the Giants by 7, and as we mentioned earlier, the Tuatara losing on the road to the Bulls. Battle of the North going down by 5 points in overtime. A game that they led by as much as, 24?
24 at one stage, and it was a wonderful atmosphere in the gym over in Franklin, and that crowd got behind their boys, and they were challenged at half-time, and they really took it to the Tuatara in that second half, and a little bit of complacency maybe seeped in, and they'll be looking to nip that in the bud tonight.
So a quick turnaround for the Tuatara back at home. The Nuggets on the road, big double this weekend up in the Big Smoke, taking on the Aucklanders tonight before they head to the Bulls on Saturday night at the Stockyard. One of the key battles tonight, Rob Lowe, Sam Timmins, they know each other's game really, really well because they've just spent the season, of course, together at the Sky Sport Breakers.
They said those guys have been fighting against each other for the better part of the last year, or the last 3 years, really. So it's going to be a great one to watch. Obviously, Sam probably has the strength and size advantage. He'll be looking to bully Robbie down low, but Robbie's a very smart and talented player who can stretch Sammy out to the 3 and challenge him in a lot of different ways. So how that battle goes, I think, will determine a lot of who the victor is tonight. 18
points and 11 rebounds per game for Rob Lowe. We'll get a re-jump here. And for Sam Timmins, 17 points and 10.7 rebounds. So they are almost identical.
It's the 3.75 blocks per game for Robbie Lowe, which I'm very impressed with at the moment, and looking forward to seeing in person as we almost get an alley-oop to get us started.
That would have been exciting. The Nuggets with the opening chance. Jared Weeks back the other way, finds Dalton in the corner. Halfway down to young Charlie Dalton. Couldn't convert though. As McLaughlin fires away from deep, he drains that one, and the Nuggets with the opening points tonight.
That's got to feel good for McLaughlin. He's had a tough time shooting the ball to start the season, and to see that first one go through the net is always a great thing.
McLaughlin, so good start for him.
Yeah, he wouldn't know it from that.
1 points again. Make no mistake about that. Coleman, Withers, catch, shoot. Knocked out a play by Sam Timmins. Stages here. Nuggets by 1. There is Todd Withers. What a great start to the season. 19 points, 6 rebounds. He's going with 3.5 triples per game as well. In fact, he's taking 4 more triples per game attempts in his last 3 games than he has for his previous 19 with the Nuggets. So he's not afraid to shoot from downtown. No,
he's obviously a very important part of what these guys are doing at both ends of the floor, and got the green light to be super aggressive offensively and let that thing fly. And he's been shooting it, as we see, just a little bit too aggressive there from Ruben. Got the size advantage down low, but smart heads-up play there by the youngster.
First foul for Tarangi tonight. As you mentioned earlier, Tom, fouled out against the Bulls at a critical time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, as we've spoken about, depth in the Tuatara team is an issue for them at the moment. They'll be looking forward to the arrival of Cruz Perrott-Hunt pretty soon, but in the meantime, they've got to keep these guys out of foul trouble, especially early in the game, and look for the Nuggets to attack them and try and draw some fouls on guys like Ruben early on. Rob
Lowe with a good steal at one end. Charlie Dalton fouled back the other way. He's off to the TAB stripe. First one to head to the coloured line tonight And it's not a happy place for this young 18-year-old. He's going at just 28% from the TAB.
Yeah, that's tough. But what a great experience for a young kid getting to play against this level of competition. He's obviously heading over to the States after this, and to get this kind of preparation for him is absolutely invaluable. And great to see him in person. He's got a good basketball, body, good size, and it's going to go well.
Well, don't worry about 28%. He's just converted both of them. So good start tonight as McLaughlin has a slip. Charlie Dalton, by the way, playing 29 minutes a game. Harris misses. Timmins battling with Lowe.
Tuatara looking to slow things down a little bit here and get a good look.
Here's Cam Glidden. We know what he's capable of. He has been on fire over the last couple of weeks.
Too strong,
yeah.
Too strong. Rubes has shown some really good poise in those on-ball situations early on, and might not get those opportunities at an NBL level, but certainly here getting the chance to have the ball in his hands a lot, and making some smart, savvy plays out of those on-balls. As we talk about smart, savvy plays, he runs straight into big Sammy's shoulder.
Timmins with the illegal screen, and that is something that the officials have been all over the last couple of weeks. Ruben Tarangi, it's only when you go and stand beside Ruben as a guard, he's got some height, but gee, he's got some strength, hasn't he?
He does. He's got some serious strength, and as we can see, they've changed the matchup and got Withers matched up on him now, because he's already creating a little bit of a problem down on the post for the Nuggets boys. But no, a very strong and savvy guy.
I think that's a better matchup. Justin Nelson with you tonight, and alongside me, Tom Abercrombie in the commentary box right here on Sky Sport as Rob Lowe goes to work, gets the favourable roll.
Lovely move by Rob, his favoured left hand. We get our first little taste of that matchup tonight. Sammy comes slowly jogging back down the court.
McLaughlin. Withers, a little bit of space, fires away and makes. He is on fire from downtown at the moment.
Yeah, look, pretty good defense there. Tough shot by Todd, but he's been knocking them down, and everything looked good.
Clearly green light from range. Foul called here on Harris, just on that lock and trail.
He's pretty locked into Cam. As we speak of shooters, there's none better than Cam Glidden, and Harris is trailing him pretty close, not going under any of those screens and trying to force Cam to put the ball on the floor.
Here's Lowe. Weeks on the curl, brings it out back high for three. Jared Weeks. Had 35 against the Bulls. Started well tonight. Here's McLaughlin. Timmins providing some cover. Deep two is good.
Nice shot. You can see Weeksy ducking underneath that high on ball there, daring McLaughlin to shoot a little bit, but McLaughlin gets to a spot and knocks it down.
Tarangi, was there a hand there? McLaughlin. Certainly Aaron Young thought there was a foul. So too Tarangi, just letting the officials know that his right arm was held back. Some early substitutions here as young Beattie and acting Sergeant Nick Barrow step onto the floor.
Yeah, early sub for Rob Lowe. Good to see Nick in there, and he's a good matchup for Sam. A strong guy, but certainly I think the Nuggets will look to go to it anyway, as we see.
In his 12th season, Nick Barrow, here he is, defending Sam Timmins on the turnaround. Misses Glidden quickly away. Here come the Tuatara.
Here comes Weeksy, head down. That's tough. He's so good at that, just putting his shoulder down and initiating the contact with, no matter how big they are, getting the jump first from the defender and allowing himself to get that shot up, which he almost had for the game winner in Franklin.
And there's that matchup. Weeks at one end, McLaughlin at the other. Jared Weeks is having some sort of a season as well. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. Here he is. He started well tonight, 7 in the game. He's going at nearly 21 points a game, 6 assists. We come to expect that. But 7.5 rebounds.
Yeah, that's. I'm a little surprised you're telling me that as well. But it's fantastic to see. Like, as we said before, he's in great shape, and it's so good to see Weeksy just being able to control this team and do a little bit of everything. And that everything includes rebounding.
There's Timmins at the TAB, put the first one down. And the second. So tight game early as Josh Aitchison steps onto the floor to give big Slam and Sam a break. Midway through the first. It's the home team by 3. Thursday night hoops in the Sal's NBL round 5 underway. Weeks again, seen plenty of it early. And again, he's headed back to the stripe.
Yeah, great take by Weeksy, just putting his head down and challenging the defenders and heading to the free throw line for 2.
He was an all-star 5 in the Sal's NBL in 2018. Won a championship with the Sharks. Coming off a big game, personally, 35, as I said, against the Bulls. Went at 61%, 9 rebounds and 5 assists in that game as well.
Did everything he could to win that game, didn't he? 35 points, absolutely incredible from Weeksy, but not quite enough. Just didn't get quite enough help from his teammates in that second half, and obviously Franklin came roaring back, but he'll look to build on that and put in another 30-piece tonight.
Spent a bit of time in Melbourne as a youngster and in Sydney as well.
He's a bit of a journeyman, Weeksy. He's been everywhere.
Well, 33 years of age, there he is, taking a quick break, and he started on fire tonight, has 9 in the game already, and he looks like he could go for another 5 or 6 at least.
He does, and I hope he does too. It doesn't get much better in terms of character guys than Jared Weeks, and hopefully he gets another opportunity at the NBL level this year.
Mind you, I'm sitting next to the guy tonight who keeps on going himself. There's Bardsley into the action. What a season Matt Bardsley's had so far. Yeah,
nice little left from him. Shows good touch around the rim. So we get our first look at Tom Beattie in the game as well, another youngster for the Tuatara.
Yeah, one 18-year-old to another 18-year-old. Fitzgerald now sends it out. Oh, great play, ooh. Beattie. Slick pass into the hands of Dalton. Foul there called on Bardsley, I think it was in the end.
Yeah, tough one to see there. Nice ball movement though by the Tuatara. Got through a couple of hands, a nice little touch pass there to Charlie Dalton, who goes up strong, gets rewarded. Gets another chance to head to the charity stripe, which he seems to love so much.
Jared Weeks hasn't missed a shot in the game so far, 9 points for him. And speaking of not missing, forget about coming in at sub 30% from the TAB. Dalton is 4 from 4.
There you go, that can change pretty quickly. That percentage will be up over 60 now.
Absolutely. McLaughlin leading the way with 5 points for the Nuggets. All these stats coming your way from our official stats partner, the TAB. Speaking of McLaughlin, draws the foul, and he'll spend some time at the coloured stripe now. Tuatara leading this one by 5.
Yeah, nice move there from McLaughlin in the post, just faking the turnaround and using that nice footwork to get the step through.
Both teams, it's a little bit muggy in here tonight at Eventfinda. Both teams rattling through the subs in this opening 6 minutes of the game. Certainly making a lot of rotations.
Yeah, they are, which is it's good to see. It's good to see the youngsters get a lot of burn early on and get those nerves out of the way. Sammy coming back after a week off, obviously, to get that first little run out and have a little rest after that, get the second wind back. I think he'll be a lot better for it.
Make sure you join us tomorrow night. Nick Bewley and Tessa Boagni bringing you the Rams and the Saints. What a big clash that is. There's Glidden, twisting, turning, drawing the foul, and now he's off to the TAB.
Yeah, a little unlucky there from Bardsley. Did everything right and just bit on the pump fake a little bit at the end. He had forced Cam into a tough position. And just bailed him out a little bit with that mid-range.
And that's his first foul. That earlier foul was on Robbie Coleman. He's got 2. Team merch. What do you think of the singlets tonight, Tom?
I love the baby blue of the Nuggets.
Seems to be a favourite at the moment. Yeah. There's the QR code on screen with thanks to New Balance and Belgravia. You can get online and check out all the team merch from across the Sal's NBL. As Glidden converts the first. 74% from the line this season, drains the second, and at the moment it's a battle from the TAB between these two. There's Darcy Knox, two-time champion with the Nuggets. Timmins back into the action. Hands it off to Harris, tough shot.
There's Robbie Lowe at the back, using that wingspan, picking up his first block of the night.
Weeks.
Sure it won't be the last.
Here he is now, Rob Lowe, on the trail, all the way to the hoop, as easy as you like.
Lovely move. That's what we spoke about before the game as well, Justin. Robbie's ability to pull Sammy out of the paint, and obviously that three-point shot is such a threat. He can get him up in the air and go right round him.
Margin at 8. Michael Harris.
Nice. That's a pure-looking shot, isn't it?
Well, he found some shooting form last week as Weeks again over the top of Sam Timmins.
Tough finish from Weeksy. Uses the glass, nice soft touch, puts it up high over Sammy's outstretched arm. Weeksy's up to 11.
11 points. Has not missed in the game. Here's Harris. Timmins underneath. Bardsley battling away. Good defense, Charlie Dalton.
Yeah, a bit of a frustration foul there from Bardsley. It was good offense from the Nuggets. Rob Lowe getting out and hard showing. They find the short roller in Sam Timmins, who found the cutter. Got a good look, but obviously didn't get the call they were looking for.
And they'll go back to the line here. They're 8 of 8 in this opening quarter, the Tuatara. The Nuggets are 3 of 4.
Yeah, it's becoming a bit dangerous for the Nuggets, putting these guys on the line so much to start the game. You get your eye in from the free throw line and everything else becomes a little bit easier.
5 of 5 from the stripe, Charlie Dalton. We saw Matt Bardsley taking a seat with 2 fouls. The man that Casey Frank calls the slippery eel.
Where does he get that from? Where does Casey get anything from?
I was going to say, you know who we're talking about. It's very hard to keep a straight face on hoop heads every week sitting opposite Casey Frank and Andrew Mulligan, I'm telling you.
I can imagine.
25 on the board already.
So a big opening quarter for the Tuatara. Big opening quarter for Jared Weeks and Charlie Dalton.
Yeah, Nuggets coming into this game, the best defensive team in the league, giving up 25 points already with 2.5 minutes to go, but Todd Withers knocks down the big three to get them back.
That's his second triple of this opening quarter. Going at 3.5 per game from downtown. Glidden, look out if he gets going. Cam Glidden.
Cam Glidden. It's a great sign for the Tuatara and not so good for the Nuggets if you see that one going through the net. That man can get hot very quickly.
That's his 20th triple of the season, Cam Glidden. Had 9 of those 20 against the Sharks. Weeks just leaning in on him.
Drawing another foul off to the free throw line for another 2.
I think
you just sense the momentum is really in the Tuatara's favour at the moment. They're getting easy ones from the charity stripe. They're pushing it in transition. Weeksy's getting to the rim whenever he feels like it. And a very well-timed timeout here by the Otago Nuggets.
A couple of minutes to go in this opening quarter. Home team leading this one by 9. And gee, I'll tell you what, if you're hungry right across round 5, the large Nonna pizza. The online code layup, that's pretty easy to remember.
The Nonna. Can we get one delivered to the commentary booth?
Oh, I wouldn't mind. That offer is valid through till next Wednesday. Just $25 with thanks to Sal's. It's the Sal's Super Special. That code is layup. Opening 8 minutes of this game. What have you made of it, Tom?
Yeah, look, it's been a great start by the Tuatara, and as we said before, the Nuggets, the best defensive team in the league coming into this, will not be happy giving up 28 points already in this first quarter with 2 minutes to go.
Can I send a cheerio and certainly our well wishes and thoughts with the family and whānau of Joe Frost, who sadly passed away last week. 40-year coaching career, of course, coached the Jets between 84 and 89, and again in 97 through to 99. 20 years at Palmerston North Boys High School, and just a legend across basketball in Aotearoa. And as I said, our thoughts and wishes with the Frost family.
Absolutely. And
all family and friends. Sad loss as Weeks converts both.
Remains perfect.
13 points in this opening quarter for the Aussie point guard, who I believe, Tom, you may be able to help me out here, remains a free agent for next ANBL season.
He does remain a free agent. Obviously had a couple of really good years down in Tasmania and been a big part of their success, and I'm sure he'll be talking to them and they'll be watching very closely and looking to bring him back. I think they'd be silly not to, the way that he's playing and the kind of form that he's in and the kind of experience and leadership that he can bring to any team.
Rob Lowe, one foul tonight. McLaughlin, fouled by Weeks, puts it in.
Great take by McLaughlin, giving Weeksy a bit of a taste of his own medicine and going straight at him.
Shaping up as a big battle tonight. Weeks 13 points without a miss in this opening quarter. McLaughlin moves to 8 points. Here's the GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. And as you said, Tom, just going right at him.
Yeah, he is. And you know, this is one of those games you get a little bit of a feel of how the referees are calling it early on. And I think the Nuggets are starting to understand that there's a lot of calls out there to be had. They can be aggressive and put their heads down and force the refs into making some decisions. The Tuatara have done a great job of it so far. And McLaughlin needs to do more of that.
We're going to get a stop in the game here. You can see the tape, the black tape on the floor has come up. That's going to get fixed up at the moment. It is pretty muggy in here. I don't know whether that's got something to do with it.
The first quarter coming up very soon.
But they'll get that fixed up.
We've got 4 very special guests all here dressed up for our
Gives these teams an opportunity to have a quick chat to each other. I can assure you this is not a Sky City player timeout at the moment. What have you made of the new player timeouts?
I love it. I love it. I think we've seen the first couple of weeks, guys were a little bit tentative to use it, but we've seen some really good use of it recently. End of games. You know, I think back to the Hawks and Taranaki game where you know, they get the rebound off the free throw, they're able to call a player timeout and come up with their own play for a game winner. That stuff is absolutely awesome and adds a little extra dimension to the game for sure.
Definitely adds some strategy. I was talking to Tuatara coach Aaron Young before the game and asking him about the players and what they think of it, and he said, well, the likes of Weeks and Lowe and Glennon, they love it because they want to be coaches.
I was just going to say, Weeksy's out there coaching as much as anyone when he's off the court, but especially on the court, it's good you get a little idea as these teams huddle up, which players sort of take control and are going to come up with those plays in their head, and Weeksy's certainly one who's got a mountain of knowledge hidden in there.
No doubt we may see some Sky City player timeouts tonight. Here's Charlie Dalton. He's had a great first quarter. Up short on the shot. Here comes McLaughlin. Knox now on the drive. Can't convert.
Good take by Knox. Good take. Puts his head down, gets the rim, just doesn't get the finish, but I like the intent there.
Last minute of this opening quarter. 52 points put away so far. On the look away, the fake couldn't make though, and Lowe over the back with the foul. Not happy with the call. That's his second.
Yeah, that's a toughie. As we spoke about before the game, foul trouble can be a bit of an issue for these Tuatara, and Rob picks up his second, reaching over the back. Tough call, but it is what it is, Rob Lowe.
It's a bit of a big man foul too, is it? Because I often see those calls in games, Tom, and I think that if that was a guard coming over the back of a guard with the same sort of contact, I don't think it gets called. But when it's a big 6'10" centre over the back of a guard, it tends to get picked up.
Well, it's so tempting, isn't it? That ball's just hanging there and Rob feels like he can just stick his arms over the top and grab it, and he can. But as you said, that size discrepancy, the slightest little shift from the defender can make it look like it's a lot worse than it is.
Harris at the TAB converts the second, just brings that margin back a little bit. This guy's been the star of the show in the opening quarter though, Jared Weeks. Tarangi now has Withers in front of him, who's an elite defender, finds a gap, can't finish. Here come the Nuggets. McLaughlin, oh, great pass to Withers, just keeps it in play. Knox. McLaughlin. Fancy work. Harris now fires away. Ends up short. I think that's come off the foot of Charlie Dalton. Yep.
They'll get the, well, almost the last shot of this quarter. But much better from the Nuggets. They've brought this thing back. They're starting to play with a little bit more intensity at the defensive end. They'll be happy gaining some momentum going into the second quarter, especially if they can come up with a bucket here.
Opportunity. 14 on the shot clock. Withers brings it out. Harris swinging it from one side to the other. McLaughlin for three. And speaking of
There we
fouls,
go. Sammy Timmins, his turn to go over the top and pick up a cheap one. Once again, can't resist. The ball's just sitting there for the big fellas.
and that's his second as well. So he takes a seat. Lowe and Timmins, the opposing
cancelling
centres.
each other out, aren't they?
And that's going to bring Nick Barrow to the line. And I'll tell you,
Tuatara missed a free throw yet?
ooh, good question. That's 13 of 13.
I've always wanted to do the commentator's curse.
What are you trying to say? Don't do that to him. You'll be arrested on the way out. Oh, just got the roll as well.
That's right, I'm happy for him. Just shows it's not a real thing, is it?
He plays a key role for this team, Nick Barrow, doesn't he?
He does. He's just a workhorse. He knows his role, sets great screens, rebounds hard, plays hard.
McLaughlin, tough shot. That'll do us though. Opening quarter done and dusted. Round 5 underway in the Cells NBL. Jared Weeks on fire early as the Tuatara looking for a bounce back, looking for redemption. They lead at quarter time by 9.
As soon as they get there, they bucket just like they did. You run up to time and score ourselves. It's about your ball to journey home. And if you get more than one, you might get a next one here for us. So we've got another one in here. It's only 4 going to be the layups. We've got about 20 seconds left. I reckon if you grab another 2 or 3, we believe. Here we go. Up we go. Ready? Oh, to the right. And we'll get some contracts out here. Coach Young. 10 seconds remaining, guys. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Welcome back to the North Shore tonight. 1 quarter played in this Thursday night blockbuster between the Tuatara and the Nuggets. Of course, grand final rematch. And at quarter time, off the back of Jared Weeks lighting it up with a perfect shooting night. 13 points in the opening quarter. The home team lead by 9. Tom Abercrombie.
Fantastic start by Weeksy and the Tuatara boys. Offensively, they've had it clicking and been bailed out a lot of times by the Nuggets, fouling far too often in that first quarter and sending them to the free throw line. So they'll be looking to be a little bit more disciplined in the second quarter, but started to pick things up towards the end there and start to develop that identity that they have in the defensive end a little bit better.
All the stats with thanks to the TAB, and just some more taper problems here tonight. So we've seen a bit of that already, haven't we? 9 points in the opening quarter. Ja'Cory McLaughlin, Todd Withers has 6.
It's been a good little battle between these point guards. Obviously, Weeksy's got it going, but McLaughlin's giving it right back to him. And a little bit of foul trouble for the big guys. Robbie Lowe and Sammy Timmins cancelling each other out, and 2 fouls apiece.
Just had it confirmed, Tom, from Tuatara management that The line situation with the tape is in fact because of the humidity, which is what we've been talking about
I've
through
played
the
my
night.
fair share of games here at the Eventfinda Stadium, and when it's wet and humid like this, there can be some issues with the floor, and obviously it makes it a little bit more difficult to get those sticky adhesives to play their part.
To stick. Underway, second quarter, here's Weeks and Withers. That's a good matchup.
It's good defense by Withers there, taking on the role of trying to stop Weeksy in this second quarter. Does a great start.
McLaughlin all the way to the basket.
Good to see McLaughlin putting his head down again in transition, getting to the rim and getting to the free throw line. It's been a bit of a recipe for success in this game so far. I like the change up in the matchup though. Withers is someone who's so versatile in how he can defend and who he can defend. We've seen him on Tarangi, we've seen him on Cam so far, and now obviously taking up the matchup with Jared Weeks, who's had such a good start to the game.
4 games with the Dallas Mavericks. Ja'Cory McLaughlin came into New Zealand fresh off an NBA G League season with the Santa Cruz Warriors.
Back to the line comes McLaughlin.
Has a look at the second shot from the TAB here. Converts that. Speaking of the stripe tonight, just to repeat, the Tuatara in that opening quarter, 14 of 14.
14 free throws in one quarter is
Glidden gives
a
up
phenomenal effort.
to Beattie. McLaughlin.
Withers had him buried under the hoop but didn't get the ball.
Harris, back of the iron. Knox keeps it alive. Goes into Withers now, and that's an easy flush.
They
for
get there
Todd Withers.
eventually. Obviously, Withers matching up with Weeksy at one end means that Weeksy's going to be matching up with him sometimes in transition as they come down as well, and Todd recognises that and takes him straight under the basket and posts him up. Took them a while to get there, but they got there in the end.
Got a break here early in this second quarter. And the Nuggets, handy start to this second quarter.
They're clawing their way back, aren't they? Momentum shifted a little bit. Obviously, Rob Lowe sitting on the bench with 2 fouls does not help the Tuatara. It's such a big part of what they do at both ends of the floor, and they look a little bit lost when he's sitting.
Games coming up in round 5 of Sal's NBL action, and maybe some sneaky tips here from you, Tom Abercrombie. Rams and Saints tomorrow night.
I've got to give that one to the Saints. I think they looked really good last week, picking up their first win. I think those early losses for them will have made them a better team, and I think they're trending in the right direction. As an ex-Saint myself, I've got to give them a tip.
I can confirm that Isaiah Le'afa is in the team again this week. He's
makes a massive difference, doesn't he? Defensively, he's so good and so strong at setting the tone and getting up and in, and made a massive difference in their game last week.
He has flown to Christchurch today, so the Saints at full strength for that one, as are the Rams. What about the double on Saturday? Giants in the Airs?
I'd love to see the Giants get their first win. I think, again, they've been building towards it. I'd love to see them get rewarded, so I give that one to the Giants.
And the Bulls and the Nuggets Saturday night?
I think the Bulls are going to get that one. I like the way the Bulls are playing. They've got a good, strong defensive identity, and saw in that second half how good they can be, and I think they'll try and build on that.
Tyrell Harrison set to miss that game again. Here's Beattie spinning to the basket, kicks it to Weeks, who has not. He has now missed his first shot of the game.
Good move there by Tom Beattie, though, getting into the paint and finding a wide open Weeksy.
Oh, Dalton had it, lost it. Harris, Withers, big play Nuggets.
Amazing finish from Withers.
Heads up pass as well from Michael Harris.
Yeah, he put it on the money. You see the replay here. The ball is going back and forth. Harris comes up with it and sees a wide open Withers under the basket, who gets up and flushes it home. Super
athletic, isn't he, Todd Withers? 10 in the game now.
You talk about Weeksy looking for another opportunity in the NBL. That guy, Todd Withers, is a guy who's looking for that opportunity as well, and would make a very handy addition to any of those squads.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I have no doubt He's being closely watched at the moment. Rangi, offensive foul.
Yeah, that's a tough one there from Rubes. Rejected the screen and had the step on his defender, and he won't be happy about that one. It's the second offensive foul of the night. He's done a better job of being disciplined with his hands at the defensive end, but offensively, that strength is causing a few problems the wrong way.
Young Patrick Freeman into the game too for the Nuggets. Good to see him out there. Withers firing away. Battle on the boards. Comes to the Tuatara. Weeks, low, Dalton, and can't get the finish.
It's better offense, though, by the Tuatara. They go into Rob, and the double comes. He makes the right read. They get a nice look under the basket. Take that all day.
Patrick Freeman, by the way, the mop of blonde hair.
Impressive head.
It is cousin of Benchy Freeman. Withers, well, I was going to say, somehow kept control of that, but he didn't in the end. Weeks pulls up. Weeks drains the triple.
Big shot, Weeksy. That's a momentum booster. They get the steal at one end, and Weeksy feels that and knocks down the wide open three.
16 now in the game for Jared Weeks. Here's Withers back the other way. He moves. No, he doesn't. Misses.
I think Weeksy might have pulled a little chair on Withers there, as he comes down and almost knocks down another three.
Opening minutes of this second quarter. Looking a good one tonight as Darcy Knox pulls up and knocks it down from the top.
Big hit from Darcy. Weeksy again going under that on ball. It's obviously a bit of a ploy from the Tuatara to dare these guys to shoot a little bit. Darcy steps up and knocks it down.
And he's good for a couple of those, one or two every game. Darcy Knox plays a good role off the bench. Another one of these Nuggets players who won a title in 2020 at the Showdown, and then again last season.
The slippery eel!
Knocked away, Jared Weeks.
Oh, they're counting the basket. Goaltending is a good call. But man, Weeksy got up.
Oh, Jared Weeks. That's as high as I've seen him get in quite some time.
That's impressive. He's always been a phenomenal one-foot jumper.
It's back to two.
As we see a nice backdoor play there, but Charlie just can't quite get the ball off the nice dish, as we see Barsley go up for the jam, and Weeksy just
call.
a little bit too late.
Yep, good call. Good steal at mid-court by Matt Barnsley. Wasn't rewarded though. Here's Glidden through traffic.
That's a nice move by Cam. Turning the corner hard, putting it on the floor, getting to the rim.
This game is tightened up. Harris.
This will make it interesting.
Yeah, it was good off the hand. Aitchison, Withers, McLaughlin, up fake. Getting lower off the ground twice. Harris from the wing.
Puts it up again.
Comes up short. Back comes Weeks. He wants the foul called, and he'll get it on Withers.
A couple of good looks there for the Nuggets. Probably the second one from Harris. They might have looked to get a slightly better shot, but you can feel the momentum. They just need one of those to go down and get this thing really close. But a great job from Weeksy there, just feeling things are starting to get away a little bit, and he just puts his head down and draws another foul.
First foul of the game for Todd Withers tonight. There's Dalton with lots of space. Weeks around low. Deep, yes. Jared Weeks is feeling it.
Great hit. It's just too easy for Weeksy coming off some of these on balls and stepping into threes. I know why the Tuatara are daring the Nuggets to shoot sometimes, but I wouldn't be giving Weeksy wide open threes if I was in.
McLaughlin hustling and bustling back the other way.
He's a strong driver, isn't he? He's done a good job since about midway through that first quarter of recognizing how the game's being called and putting some more pressure on the referees and getting to the basket at will now.
Really is a battle between the point guards tonight. McLaughlin with 12 points. Weeks has 19. 3 of 5 from range tonight, Jared Weeks.
As we see Todd Withers now matching up with Rob Lowe. I think he's going to guard 1 through 5 before the night is done.
Is there a player he hasn't gone to yet?
Doesn't help when Sammy's been sitting on the bench with 2 fouls, but we see him coming back into the game now with 5.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Margin at 5. Weeks again. Yes, Jared Weeks.
Jared Weeks is feeling it from downtown.
He is on fire. 22 in the game now. Bardsley somehow got it to Timmins. Bardsley another shot.
It's just too easy for Weeksy right now. He's getting great looks.
Now he's got Bardsley on him. Gives it up. Rob Lowe. That'll come up short.
It's another great look though.
Glidden. And you sense right now that the Tuatara want to inflict some pain. They go again.
You feel like this one could blow open pretty quick right now if just a couple of these shots knocked down. Nuggets need to regroup. They got it in the right guy's hands.
And a foul on Rob Lowe. That's his third.
That's big. That's big. We see the momentum shift as soon as Rob comes back into the game. The Tuatara build up a little bit of a lead again, but his third foul, he's heading back to the bench.
And I'm not sure if we'll get a shot of it again, but it just looked a little bit clumsy in the end too. Just an inadvertent foul contact.
Yeah, it did. It was good footwork again from McLaughlin. He's had a couple of those where he's had the ball down in the low post and yeah, 1 or 2 fakes and the little step through. He's obviously pretty shifty. He's got nice footwork and got Rob Lowe up in the air. Well,
he's one of the best that we've seen so far this season, Tom, in getting defenders up in the air.
Yeah, there's a skill to it, you know, as much as anything else out in the basketball court. Drawing fouls and being able to bait your defender into fouling you is a skill, and he's got it in bounds, as we've seen himself get to the free throw line again. Weeksy's another guy who's got that skill. Consequently, they both shot about 10 free throws tonight.
Well, 3 of 6. McLaughlin is now from the TAB. Weeks is a perfect 4 of 4. And that margin got down to 2 before, as you said, the Tuatara with Rob Lowe back on the floor briefly. They blew it back open again, didn't they?
Yeah, it did. Harris had a couple of good looks for 3 to close that gap to 1, and you know, misses both of them. They come down the other end, they draw a foul. All of a sudden, the momentum shifted again.
Just saw the headband brothers for the Nuggets sitting on the sidelines, Bardsley and Coman. Don't know who's taking after who. There's Weeks, slips it in. Barrow with the finish.
Tuatara got the ball through about 3 or 4 sides there. Obviously a conscious effort to give the ball through some hands, and the defense breaks down at the end, and Nick Barrow gets a nice little layup.
Timmins ends up in the corner. Shot comes up short from Knox. Weeks again, finding space. That time off to the right. Straight back into defense for Weeks as Knox attacks. Loose ball off the shot, picked up. Charlie Dalton, the young buck, on the move, going hard to the ring. And I reckon it's a foul on Harris here.
Yeah, no, great take. Great defense from Weeksy down the other end, showing hands, not bailing the offensive player out, and Charlie Dalton just goes coast to coast and draws a foul at the other end.
What have you made of some of the point guards in the competition so far, Tom? I mean, we're seeing Jared Weeks as he takes a break now, just turning it on tonight. Jeremy Kendall.
Yeah, Kendall's been fantastic, hasn't he? Absolutely fantastic for that Southland team, and you've got, you know, Kyle Adlam down in Wellington.
Yep.
The league is full of very talented point guards at the moment, which
Javion Blake at the Jets.
As we know, having a good point guard, you know, steering the ship and controlling a team, it's so important. So important.
And of course, it's been good to see Jared Kenny doing his thing as well. JK.
Wasn't expecting to see JK lace him up again, but he can't stay away from it, can he? And that man will never be in bad shape. He's come in and done a great job for those Hawks.
10-point margin. Withers fires away. Back of the iron. Picked up by Barrow.
Look, it's been an issue for them all season, hasn't it? 3-point shooting. And they've had some pretty good looks, especially in the second quarter, but they just haven't been able to knock them down.
Just stepping out of court there, Charlie Dalton. That'll hand it back to the Nuggets. Just over 3 minutes to play in the opening half tonight. Wasn't that long ago. It doesn't feel that long ago that these two were playing off for the 2022 championship. And of course, the Nuggets got up. On that particular occasion, Sam Timmins claws back 2.
Yeah, nice little play there from the Nuggets. They get Sam open on a cross screen down low, and nice touch from Sammy. Takes one dribble, gets to his spot, knocks it in.
Barrow gets it back. And there's another offensive foul here, this time on Ruben Fitzgerald. So we've made mention of this tonight already, and it was certainly a talking point in round 4, but clearly there's been a directive in the last couple of weeks on setting offensive screens, and to their credit, the referees have been not only red hot but consistent, and the players need to adapt.
They have been consistent, and it's a tough one to ref, that offensive foul, because you've got defenders trying to draw one out of their offensive player, and offensive players who just, you know, they're trying to be careful, but they don't want to be too careful. They want to go into their move and not have to think about that stuff. But we've seen Ruben Tarangi's picked up 2 already in this game, just being a bit too strong out there.
Hoop Heads every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on Sky Sport 1, and also on Thursday nights at 6:30 p.m. leading into our Thursday night game. Andrew Mulligan and Casey Frank join me each week on Hoop Heads. Have you had a look at the new show yet, Hoop Heads?
Yeah, I have. It's been good.
Bit of fun?
Yeah, a bit of fun, and very nice to see Casey dressing up for the occasion.
Oh, yeah, right. I think he had some sort of cardigan on last week, or this week, I should say.
He's got a different excuse every week, but I love his unique sense of style.
Oh, no, it's very unique. There's no doubt about that. And we love him for it. Casey Frank.
46 points on the board for the Auckland Tuatara here. They had 32 after the first quarter. It feels like the Nuggets have been slightly better in the second quarter, but they've just let Wixie get open far too many times for 3. And they're making this pretty tough on themselves. 5
of 12 from behind the arc tonight. The Aucklanders, Weeksy has 4 of those. The Nuggets, 5 of 16. Nuggets shooting at 38% overall. Tuatara at 48%. All the stats from our official stats partner, the TAB. Back underway. McLaughlin around Dalton. Good defense from Dalton in there, just coming down with his right arm.
Again, McLaughlin using that savvy smarts out there to draw the foul at the end, but good to see him putting his head down and getting to the rim. The Nuggets have had a few 3 balls that have missed recently, and they need to get that stuff going to the basket again. Speaking of
Casey Frank, who will be on the couch watching tonight, he made mention during the week, of course, with the World Cup draw, the Tall Blacks in Group C against the USA, Greece and Jordan. He did remind me that the last time the Tall Blacks played the USA, which you would have been involved in, 2014, you did actually beat them in the 3rd quarter.
You take your wins, don't you? No, that was quite an occasion, and quite ironic that we've been drawn with them again. But as we were talking about before the game, I think it's great. The Tall Blacks have matched up with them in the very first game. You never know what can happen. These Americans are not going to have the kind of build-up that the Tall Blacks will have, and could cause a bit of a shock out there. You matched up on James Harden in that game. You would have broken even with him, surely. Oh, yeah, he wasn't too bad. Had his number. Jared Weeks, great pass underneath, finds Tarangi for 2. 2 minutes to play in this opening half. Harris, Timmins now. Bodies down on Nick Barrow. Going to work, trying to scoop it up underneath on the reverse. Great D by Nick. Yep. Yeah, it was. Held his own. He's a strong man, as is Sam, but Sam couldn't move him there. Dalton nowhere to go. McLaughlin back the other way. He wants to go all the way. Good defense by Tarangi, and here comes Glidden. Yeah, good hands. And a smart play from Cam there, drawing the foul in transition. Just slowed up, didn't he? Anxious and nowhere to go. Ran over the top of him. It's a tough one, isn't it? You fall over in transit, well, any time you fall over, and it's almost always a foul, even if you barely touch the guy. Nowhere near them. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. Well, Cam Glidden looks a little confused about something.
GJ Gardner's replay. There it is. And Aitchison didn't have anywhere to go. Smart play.
Shift. I think he's trying to claim he might have been shooting the ball, which is wishful thinking from Cam.
If that was the Melbourne Cup, that's going straight to the steward's room after the race. You can't shift like that. Here's Weeks. Withers back to him now. What a matchup that's been. Gets Withers off the floor, gets it back from Barrow, sends it out. Tarangi for three. What a play from the Tuatara.
Yeah, great play. Obviously Withers on Weeksy there. He's unable to get open, but does a great job of getting into the paint, drawing the extra defender and kicks it out to Rubes for the wide open three.
Timmins inside for Bardsley.
Nice finish from Bardsley.
Slippery eel.
Slippery eel indeed.
That's what he does. Margin at 9. Weeks wants to go on
straight
Timmins
at the body.
And
that's
does.
the Weeksy special. It's so tough. Sammy obviously a much bigger defender than Jared Weeks, but just negates it by going at his body, gaining the advantage.
He's had a massive first half as Timmins lets fly. Here he is again. Weeks, Tarangi, corner.
Oh no.
It's going to be another offensive foul on Ruben.
It's his third foul, I believe.
After he passed to Charlie Dalton, just ran over the top of the defense.
Just couldn't halt the momentum. Pushing it in transition and got it in an awkward spot where he really had nowhere to go and able to get a good pass off, but couldn't slow the body down. And Ruben will sit with his third foul as he finds himself in a little bit of foul trouble for the second game in a row.
So they lead by 11, but on the downside for the home team, Rob Lowe has 3 fouls, and now Ruben Tarangi also has 3. Sam Timmins is going to take a break for the rest of this half. He has a couple of fouls. Josh Aitchison, the only Nugget in foul trouble with 3.
Yeah, well, the Tuatara got to be pretty happy with Rob sitting a lot of this first half, and Ruben as well, to be sitting up 11 points at the moment. They're in a good spot.
McLaughlin always finds a way, doesn't he?
There he goes again, just putting his head down. Weeksy can't do much else there. He plays good defense and gets the body in front, but McLaughlin's a strong driver and gets the little advantage.
Timeout called by the Tuatara. GJ Gardner-Holmes replay. He's crafty and creative, Ja'Cory McLaughlin.
Yeah, there we see. Weeksy stays in front of him the whole time, but that physical strength advantage at the end, McLaughlin's able to create that separation.
17 in the game for McLaughlin, 24 tonight to Jared Weeks.
24, it's on track for a 50.
Absolutely.
He's going to back up his 35.
There's the Headband brothers, Robbie Coleman and Matt Bardsley, and the Moustache brothers as well.
The twins out there. They pull it off, I reckon.
They do. I like it. Got some work to do, the Nuggets. They'll have a talk about it at halftime. 16 seconds to play in this opening half. We haven't seen the Sky City play a timeout yet. We may see one, although I think the Tuatara here might take it from the backcourt and knock the shot clock out of action. I don't think they'll advance and drop it to 14 here.
No. 16 seconds to go. It'll be interesting to see what Aaron Young has drawn up for the Tuatara here.
But you can be guaranteed, Tom, that if the Nuggets do get a turnover anywhere in this 16.3, they are screaming for a Sky City player timeout straight away.
I'm waiting for it. Rob Lowe back in the game for this possession as well. Expect them to go through him.
And Tarangi out there as well. So 2 players on 3 fouls. Weeks. Shot clock at 2, at 1, into the corner. Tarangi, no. So half time. And a half that belonged to the home team. They lead by 9 at the half. Jared Weeks, star of the opening half. 24 points for him. 8 of 11 shooting, going at 72%. And he has been a big factor in this game. The only Tuatara player in double digits. He's down on the sidelines now with Tom Abercrombie, who we're going to right now.
fantastic first half from you. It looks like you're getting whatever you want out there and getting a good balance of getting to the rim and shooting that three ball.
Yeah, they're competing, you know. They're a very good team. They're obviously undefeated. 44 is too many for them, though, so we've got to try and lock them up down the other end.
Is that the big focus for the second half, trying to do a better job defensively and obviously keep a couple of guys out of foul trouble?
Yeah, I think anytime you win the defensive battle, you're sitting pretty well. So, yeah, that's going to be our focus going into the second half.
Cool. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Gator.
As I bring over McLaughlin here to have a little chat with me. Pretty good first half from you. You've been able to get to the basket at will, it seems like. What do you guys got to do better in the second half?
All defense. Defense, we got to talk more, be there early in the gaps, help side early, just all that defense, we got to go harder.
You guys have had some pretty good looks from the outside that you just haven't knocked down. Are you going to continue to shoot away from the outside? Are you going to make an adjustment for the second half, try to get to the rim a little bit more?
Yeah, we're just going to play our game, play as a team. When we got open shots, we're going to shoot them.
All right, good luck, mate.
Appreciate you.
Thanks
Back
very
to you,
much,
Justin.
Tom. Jared Weeks and Ja'Cory McLaughlin have both been in the thick of the action in the opening half here tonight. Thursday night hoops in the Cells NBL round 5 is underway. And the Aucklanders leading at the half by 9. TAB stats not too far away. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
James Kim, winner. James Kim, we're about to take up the top. Have a look up the top. We have a giveaway under one of the seats. If you have a look, you could be winning a prize. Have a look. The randomly selected stand is our one up on top there, the big stand. Have a look right now under your seat and all around you for James Kim. If you find his face, his gorgeous face, then you score yourself a prize. Thanks to Harcourt's Cooper & Co. So keep on looking up there. Keep on going. Have a look. I have a feeling it is somewhere near the front. I don't know exactly, but I've got a bit of a vibe going on. I can feel the force. If you see yourself winning a prize, then we'll get to you. Here we go. We've got a winner there. Have a look in the front row. Have a look under your seat. James Kim, if you find his face, you might have to give him a little bit of a tickle around underneath the seats and then yell out if you win it. We'll give it to you. James Kim from Harcourt's Cooper & Co. Right, let's quickly welcome our two guests here. We're going to play it. And all plans. Here we go. It's quick fire game. Come on over here. We've got Wolf calling you here. How you doing? Good. And yourself? Right now. First time we got Wolf. Do you reckon it's a pan or a planet for a jersey? For us? He's going pan. Let's roll it. What have we got? It is a pan. You've won yourself. Where's the prize? And our next slide coming up. Is this a pan or a planet? What do you think? Slide number 2. And a planet. Planet, let's see if they win it. Next slide's coming. Planets! Well done. Our 2 winners have done it. It is Kelly and Matthews. Well done.
I'm just doing it out of a silly. Well, someone, you know, there's a massive injury or something, I've got to record it.
It's the first. Up to the TAB, Heath Spitz here, Auckland. Elders. One cash in, one missing tip. Let's see what he does on the thirds. Good for the thirds. You got yourself a ball down there, 4 points in there. Let's go, Auckland. That's a foul. quick announcement. Car with the number plate NHR822. You've left the lights on outside. NHR822. That's your car. I'll put those lights on. Chicken back on the floor is Cam Glue. What a cracker we've got now. The Nuggets, 75, Tuatara, trailing by one. We're going to need you out and proud. We've got Tama up here in the big stand, getting amongst it. Have a look up on screen now and have a look under your seat. Somewhere around here, we have James Kim's face. If you find it, score yourself an instant prize. Let's get that champion once again. Captain Robo to the line for two. Gets the line with the Robbers. .6:24 remaining here in Eventfinda. Otago fans, it's here. Tuatara fans, make some noise! Checking back in for the visitors, number 33, Sam Timmons. Jared Weeks to the line. Now called there on Robert Herman, fourth personal. And then two straight now. First one is good. Somebody catch him, 2-2, Ruben Tenali. for the end one.
To burn as much as possible. Withers trying to get free. McLaughlin now.
He's got the matchup he wants.
Dalton in front of him. That's a tough shot.
Good defense by the young fella.
Loose ball picked up by Dalton. He'll go all the way.
Oh.
Just getting a hand on it, Michael Harris.
Yeah, way to get back, Michael Harris. Straight back down the other end. Todd Withers. Shows some good poise.
Use the time again.
And we've got some a bit of sweat or something on the court once again. Mopper's working overtime tonight.
That's been the tale of the night, hasn't it?
Charlie Dalton takes a rest and Big Nick Burrow back into the game.
We do know there's been some audio issues tonight. We apologise for that. Back up and running. It's awful weather outside. Not sure whether the weather gods were sick and tired of you and I talking, Tom, but
we'll blame the weather gods, eh?
2:47 left in this game. 5-point margin. The Nuggets 18-7
The Nuggets
in this last quarter.
Keeping them at bay. Defensively, they've been much better in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. And offensively starting to get some things going.
And you can see the urgency on Coach Aaron Young right here. Michael Harris! Oh, what a shot! The Aussie out of the Perth Wildcats has just dropped a big bomb. Massive basket for the Nuggets. And that takes him out to an 8-point lead. Tom Abercrombie.
Huge. I was just about to say, man, that's a big shot to shoot right there. But Harris, he backs himself. He plays with a lot of confidence. He's obviously got the green light to shoot whenever he's open. And he's made some big ones when it counts.
Well, 18 in the game for Michael Harris. I count him at 14 in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a big second half. Big second half from Harris and the Nuggets. And what a swing to take the lead for the first time in the fourth quarter. Now it's up to 8.
42-25 second half by the visitors. They come in unbeaten. And talking to some of the players before the game, Tom, you were with me as well, and I think they like the fact that people keep writing them off.
They do. They do. I think they're embracing that challenge of, not being the favourite every night, but continuing to go in and just get the job done. They play a tough, gritty style. They back themselves in defense. They rebound. And it's a formula that's working for them.
It's definitely working for them right now. He actually has been dialed up to 10 for the Tuatara.
It has. I just think the depth of the Tuatara is an issue for them right now. And both these last two games coming down into the fourth quarter. As we see a great finish there from Charlie Dalton, who gets wide open against that Otago Nuggets zone once again.
They do have young Kiwi Cruz Pero Hunter coming to this team as well. Not sure when he arrives. It won't be in the next 2 minutes, that's for sure. There's Withers. Oh, look out, he's already dropped 5. He's got 6.
That's huge. Keeping the Tuatara at bay.
He's shooting from outside over the last few weeks has been extraordinary.
Timely too. Every time his team's needed a bucket. Speaking of timely, Ruben Tarangi keeping the Tuatara close.
What a great game of basketball. 150 to play. 6-point margin. Crowd on their feet. Nuggets.
Weeksy up and in, harassing McLaughlin at the top of the key, who puts it on the floor.
Gets all the way to the basket. Good defense in the end. Clinton comes up with it. He's got runners. He's got kids. He's got Dalton getting up.
Great take by the young fella. Love the aggressiveness. Probably had Ruben open there, but backs himself, and Nuggets do enough to force the miss.
And they settle. Again, time on their side. McLaughlin knows it. Works inside the paint. It's a hard cover. Well done, Jared Weeks. Glidden. Weeks on the move. Won't get there. Or will he?
Tough call, tough call.
What a contest.
Tuatara ball. Great effort from Weeksy. You could see him just chasing that ball down there. His legs were a little heavy. He's carried a big load tonight, but puts his body on the line once again and comes up with the extra possession for his team. Down 6 with a minute to play here. They need a big possession.
And the contest between Weeks and Withers. Withers 6 of 11 from downtown tonight. Jared Weeks 7 of 11 from behind the arc. I mean, the battle between those two is worth playing on the way out again.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and we've seen Withers match up a lot more with Weeksy as we see it now. But Weeksy's shifty and smart and got all the tricks in the book, and he still finds a way to get himself open.
1:07 left in the game.
Looks like a little screener action here, though. Expect to see Weeksy set a little back screen for Ruben. Ruben possibly rejecting this one and coming off Rob Lowe's screen himself.
Tuatara staring at a second straight loss. In fact, Tarangi steps back. Glidden's the target, well covered by McLaughlin.
Good defense.
Great hands.
Great hands, great hands.
They get it back. Both teams yet to use their Sky City player timeout this half. So we may see that come into effect. Here's Weeks. He fires away on the inbound. Can't convert for an 8th time.
Great look. Can't ask for a better shot than that.
Pressure up the floor now.
Yeah,
again.
Desperate times for the Tuatara now. They're going to start taking a few risks as we see Weeksy commit the foul. Tuatara in the bonus, so McLaughlin will head to the free throw line.
This has been one heck of a second half by the Nuggets tonight. 24-12 last quarter now. And the Tuatara, you can see on their faces, Tom, they know that they've been outmatched in this second half.
Yeah, no, you can see there's a little bit of a shocked look on their face. And as we spoke about in the first half, the Nuggets just kept it close. Even when they didn't have the momentum going their way, they were able to hang in there. And once a couple of those shots started falling, especially at the hands of Todd Withers.
Well, McLaughlin's missed both. And as Glidden has grabbed the ball, he's called a player timeout. How smart is that, Cam Glidden? Sky City player timeout. Don't forget, 10,000 community group tickets to be given away with thanks to Sky City. Get your group together, sporting groups, community groups, school groups, QR code, scan it,
book your tickets and get along and see a Sal's NBL game. How smart was that from Cam Blue?
Yeah, fantastic use of it. He was falling out of bounds and called the timeout. It's something I've always wanted to use. You know, you see it used in the is it in the NBA they used to be able to use it? I can't remember.
I think
wherever they used to use it.
Some college basketball.
College basketball.
So you're saying we might see you in the Sal's NBL this season?
Just to call one of those? I think so.
They get the advance, 45 seconds to play. If they score out of this, it's a genius call. And it ends up with Glidden, and he scores!
Glidden brings the margin back to 3 points. They're up the floor.
Well, that's why the Sky City player timeout is so much fun.
No.
Glidden has tripped over McLaughlin, who just missed 2 from the TAB, by the way.
Who do you reckon drew that play up? It must have been a Weeksy special.
During the timeout?
During the timeout.
Well, that's why, like, it is so much fun when you see that, isn't it?
It is. It's just awesome to see which player takes control and sort of controls that huddle. Who's got the basketball brain in there to be able to organise his teammates, get them in the right spots, come up with the right play and communicate it to his guys. And Jared Weeksy certainly won, but the Tuatara are full of those guys. You know, Rob Lowe could equally come up with something, so could Rob and Ruben.
Well, the upside, Tom, is they scored from the Sky City player timeout. The downside is they've used it.
They have used it, but very good use of it.
So McLaughlin at the line, missed his last 2, makes that one.
It's a big one.
Margin
Biggie.
at 4. Nuggets still have their player timeout.
I think we'll see Aaron Young call a timeout here if we have a make.
Got the whiteboard in
Draw
hand.
something up.
Second shot is out. So they've got to move here. The Tuatara. They've used their player timeout. Weeks. Low.
Fantastic look. Robbie Lowe.
How about this? What a game.
1 point game. Jared Weeks gets the ball in transition, pushes it. A little bit of confusion on the Nuggets part. Who's matching up with who? And Rob Lowe just drifts into a nice top of the key 3-pointer in rhythm, knocks it down. 1 point game.
And at a little bit of distance as well.
Yeah, a little half step out there. But just great rhythm, just stepped straight into it. No one within a couple of meters of him. It's a breakdown from the Otago Nuggets, but that's the advantage of, you know, coming off a miss off that free throw and being able to just push it and transition and not giving the Nuggets a chance to set up their defense, which they would have had they made it, and Aaron Young had called that timeout.
29 seconds to play. Back-to-back threes for the Tuatara. Cam Glidden, excellent play off the Sky City player timeout. And as you've just seen, in transition, Rob Lowe drains another big 3. And believe it or not, Thursday night hoops in the Sal's NBL
Keeps delivering.
it's like a Sal's pizza. It just keeps delivering you spot on. 1 point margin. Nuggets ball, both teams in the bonus. What do the Nuggets do here?
Well, I think they'll look to put the ball in McLaughlin's hands. They're going to inbound the ball from the full court, give him a bit of space to move. But I think it's McLaughlin's game, looking to get inside the key, create something for his teammates.
With Harris here, and look at the Tuatara all over him.
They've got the ball in the right man's hands now. See what he can do.
McLaughlin, Weeks right there with him. Shot clock at 8, at 7, 6, 5. Harris fires and
Michael Harris.
Wow!
Huge 3. And as we said, put the ball in McLaughlin's hand and just let him make a read. I'm not sure who it was, but the Tuatara defender just creeped in a little bit too close. McLaughlin more than happy to make that extra pass to his teammate, who steps in and knocks it right down.
Andrew Mulligan on Hoop Heads this week said that the Sal's NBL is off the charts. He said it's amazing, most competitive he's seen it. Casey said the same thing. What we are seeing right now play out before our eyes is an unbelievable battle between these two teams.
It really is. It's been fantastic. It's been back and forth all night, but once again, we've been given a fantastic spectacle right here on Sky Sport. Everyone in the stadium here, they're on their feet for this last little part here. 29 seconds, or 10 seconds to go.
Michael Harris. Second half for him tonight has been
massive, hasn't it?
Exceptional
4 points at half-time.
21 in the game now, and no bigger shot than that last triple. 4-point margin, 8.5 seconds. Lennon and Lowe got them back into it. Harris with the dagger. They've got to fire away quickly. Weeks, they've got to go.
Put it up.
Long shot, back of the iron. Weeks gets it back, steps out. He'll try and put it up. Doesn't matter.
Can't get one up.
It's done.
The Otago Nuggets remain undefeated in the Sal's NBL. What a win by them. What a win.
Massive win tonight. The Otago Nuggets in the baby blue. Second half performance by them. 28-18 in the last quarter. Tom Abercrombie, take us through it.
Yeah, man, 28-18 in the last quarter. They just ran away with it. As we see a haka up in the stands here.
Well, this is quite amazing what we're seeing at the moment.
This is pretty special, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, how good is that?
That's impressive.
Sal's NBL on a Thursday night. Round of applause for the fans. That's actually a visiting school group, TKKM Aotearoa Tuku School from West Auckland. The Tuatara players were out there during the week and they've returned the favour and said thank you for a great game tonight. But what a great game indeed from the visiting Otago Nuggets.
What a way to start off the Auckland doubleheader. A massive win over the Auckland Tuatara. They've got to back it up in 2 days' time against the Franklin Bulls, but it's much easier backing up when you're coming off a win. The boys will be confident and happy going into that one. They were tough and gritty. They lived up to their word and hung around the whole game. And the Tuatara just ran out a bit of steam again. Just like last week, they had a lead going into the second half and just couldn't quite finish. But putting a great performance for the fans here to be proud of.
TAB stats tonight, we've got no pictures in front of us, so we'll quickly update you that Todd Withers finished with 22, Michael Harris 21, both of them in the second half, exceptional. Jacory McLaughlin with 20 points, his first half kept them in the game, 9 assists also for McLaughlin. For the Tuatara, Jared Weeks 35 in the game, had 24 at half-time. Ruben Tarangi with 15 points, Rob Lowe 14 points, 10 rebounds. He earns a double-double. All up, though, the win tonight for the Nuggets. They remain unbeaten. 5 straight wins from the reigning champions to start the season. And certainly no disrespect to their opening 4 wins of the season, but for me, this is the one that they'll mark down. They'll chalk it up as their best win so far this season.
Certainly it was their toughest test of the season, and you know, as you said, the only stat that matters is that one in the win column. And to build a 5-win cushion this early on in the season and have that foundation, at some stage inevitably they're going to be tested. There's going to be some adversity, someone's going to be injured. Knock on wood, hopefully that doesn't happen, but at some stage something's going to happen. And to have 5 wins in the column already to lean back on, their guys are in a wonderful place to start the season.
To all of our viewers tonight, adverse weather conditions outside the stadium here tonight, wind and rain and all sorts of awful weather. We know we lost some pictures and sound there for a while. We do appreciate you sticking with us, and thankfully you did, because what a finish to this game tonight. Nuggets get it by 4. Tom, been great to work with you. Great to see you, by the way.
Thank you, mate. It's been awesome to be back. Loved calling the game with you, and hopefully we'll do it again sometime soon.
Oh, no doubt we will. Round 5, Sal's NBL action. 5 big games still to come. Make sure you join us tomorrow night. We're headed to Christchurch. What a beauty that will be. The Rams and the Saints. Make sure you join us for that. And right across the weekend as the Sal's NBL, as exciting and thrilling as it is, it keeps coming at you day after day after day. The Nuggets win tonight by 4. Hope you've enjoyed it. We'll see you tomorrow night for more Sal's NBL. Mā te wā.